What's going on? It's January 13th, 2026, and there's a few important topics I want to cover in today's video. One being this major pattern flip we're about to get in the east. It's about to get much colder, and our snow chances are about to increase. Speaking of snow totals, we'll talk about how much snow we could see over the next 48 to 72 hours. And as I said, the east is about to get very cold. How long could that cold last? I think it's going to last at least through the first week of February. As always, I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you like the video, like the video. Let's talk about the weather. Taking a look at our live radar, we currently have a front pushing down into the Midwest. We do have some precipitation along this Bear Clinic boundary out here, and you can see we have some snow falling through portions of the Great Lake regions and up into Canada to southeastern Ontario here. Now, over the next 24 to 48 hours, we'll start to see the snow transitioning off into the south and east. We could even get some snow into portions of Ohio, PA. This is going to move off into inner New England and then eventually off the coast. We've also got some thunderstorms moving through portions of south central Texas, although nothing severe here. Let's quickly go over our 7 to 10 day forecast. Here we go, pushing through today and into tomorrow. You can see this trough beginning to dig down into the southeast. Of course, this is going to bring some very cold air with it. We have some snow flying up here, like I said, through portions of the Great Lake regions up into the northeast. Now, as this trough begins to dig, you see we have a nice storm system developing off the coast. This was our first opportunity for a nor'easter, but this system is a little too far off the coast. This was always a possibility, although I think we're going to have another opportunity right behind this. We could get some nice snow, though, into portions of the northeast still. Maybe some back-end snow with all this cold air moving in and this moisture available, still into portions of the coastal mid-Atlantic and coastal New England. Not expected to be a lot, but you can see the GFS is giving us an opportunity for some of that back-end snow. Could be some good snow for upstate New York, though, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. We'll go over that in a second. Out west, we're under a ridge, so dry and above average temperatures as we push through this week. Pushing through Thursday, getting into Friday, here comes another trough beginning to drive down into the states. This one a little bit farther out west, which is why it might be a better opportunity for some southern snow or even a nor'easter. Again, though, with the nor'easter, you can have the cold air, you can have the moisture. It's all about the storm track. You need a little bit of luck on your side. But here we go, getting into Friday. We have another snow system or clipper moving into portions of the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin. And you can see we have potentially some good snow falling through portions of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan. We could get some more lake effect snow triggered from this as well. We're going to push through Friday into Saturday, and this is very, very cold air driving down towards the Gulf. Here's our freezing line, our 540 line, and you can see some of that snow up to the north here is beginning to drive out into the east. Again, flurries anywhere in this area is possible. As we get into Saturday, it doesn't look like anyone's going to see big snow, although this is still about 100 hours out. Some things could change. The important part of this second system is where does this drive in and begin to tilt? Because if this tilts a little bit earlier, if this trough dives into the states a little bit farther to the west, it is possible again to get a storm system up the coast. We may get unlucky with this, just like the first one where this storm system forms right off the coast and a lot of that snow just ends up falling in the Atlantic. But here we go, pushing through Sunday, getting into Monday. You can see that storm system formed off the coast. Although there's still a good opportunity for some southern snow. You can see how far south our polar jet is. This Bear Clinic boundary is very far south, driving straight through portions of Georgia, Alabama, and South Carolina. So getting into Monday, Tuesday, look what begins to happen on the GFS. You start to get a snowstorm that develops through portions of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee. Could this transition off to the east, put some snow down through the Carolinas, up through the mid-Atlantic coast? Again, another opportunity. We'll see what happens here. Getting out towards 150 plus hours, we'll probably want to wait another day or two to see what the model consensus looks like. The confidence in the cold air is pretty strong, though. Most models in the ensembles see this cold air down here, see that Bear Clinic boundary setting up very far to the south. So this is going to be our best opportunity so far this winter for southern snow. Pushing into next Tuesday, Wednesday, you can see what's also happening up here. Another chance for snow up along the coast here. We have all these great opportunities. It just keeps looking like the storm tracks keep wanting to move off the coast, which is unfortunate, but we still have some time to see how this develops. Notice this whole time while I'm taking you through this next basically 7 days, we are dry out west. We have this ridge out west. So unfortunately, not a lot of precipitation, if any precipitation, and some above average temperatures over the next week. And I'm going to show you that when we take a look at our Climate Prediction Center temperature and precipitation outlook here in a second. Now, the Pacific Northwest, as we get into the middle of next week, could see another storm system moving in, and that could lead to a nice clipper system up through the upper Midwest and then maybe through the Great Lake region as well, up through the Northeast. We're getting a little bit far out now, so I don't want to get ahead of myself, but you can see again our 540 line is pretty far to the south, so ice, snow, we'll see what happens down there. But we continue to see this cold air driving down into the south. We continue to see the opportunity for some coastal snow, for some southern snow. We need a good storm track, though. And right now, obviously with this control run of the GFS, we don't see the storm track. We may see it on some of the members, and when I get onto live stream later, we can take a look at the members and see if the opportunity is there. Here's our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. And you can see the west is warm, the east is cold, especially out here through portions of the Great Lakes region. Pushing into the 8 to 14 day, still cooler out east. This is more towards the north and east, the south and west. much warmer. And then pushing into the 3 to 4 week temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. Again, really the north and east are staying cooler, potentially below average. The south and west potentially above average. Taking a look at our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, not surprised to see the west this dry. We'll see if the southeast remains this dry. I think you could actually see at least average precipitation through that time frame. 8 to 14 days out, most of the country is average to above average precipitation. Moving out to 3 to 4 weeks, you could see potentially we get some nice moisture moving back into the northwest, pushing down into the Rockies, which I'm sure would be welcomed. Snow expectations over the next 67 hours. So this is about 3 days. You can see we could have some nice snow falling through portions of Minnesota, especially northern and eastern Minnesota. Maybe 2 to 4 inches. On the high end, it could be closer to 3 to 6 inches, I think. The whole state of Wisconsin could see some snow. 1.5 to 4 inches again on the high end, push those totals up a couple inches. Central to northern Illinois, central to northern Indiana, lake effect snow for western Michigan, and then you can see pushing out towards Ohio. Central to northern Ohio could get in on a couple inches as well. Moving into the northeast, interior New England could see some okay snow. You could see potentially 1 inch or 2 through this region. And then as we get even farther towards the interior region, we could see anywhere between 3 to 6 inches, maybe a few more on the high end. Here comes the cold air. Right here, you're looking at the European weeklies, January 15th to January 22nd temperature anomaly. So this is a 7-day temperature anomaly. And of course, like I showed you, we're very cold out east. Now let's move this all the way to the end of January. Here we go as we get towards January 31st. Still very cold out east, very warm out west. Does this last as we get into February? It's possible. You can see getting out towards February 6th, February 7th. We're still trying to hold that cool air out east. We'll see here, obviously, the farther we get out, the harder it is for the models to tell what's going to happen. Here's our 500 millibar height anomaly on our GFS ensemble. We continue to see that significant EPO, that very amplified Alaskan ridge, which is going to allow this cold air to continue to drive into the south. The question is this ridge out into our east going to be off to the east of Greenland, or can this ridge form over Greenland, allowing some more blocking, which would give us our storm tracks, which would help with southern snow, which would help with the chances for a nor'easter? It just looks like right now that strong negative NAO may not be there. You can see all this ridging just out to the east of Greenland. We want that a little bit closer to get some stalled fronts up and down the coast here. It's possible still that Greenland ridge does form, that this ridge is a little bit farther out to the west and not pushed out over towards Europe. We need a little bit of time to see. But like I said, this amplified Alaskan ridge is going to provide the cold air we need for these snow opportunities out east, including in the south and out towards the coast. Quickly taking a look at our teleconnections, you can see here our European AI, our Arctic oscillation, and NAO are negative here through the short and mid range. You can see that, like I said, on the European AI. As we go into the GraphCast, our NAO, our AO, the mean is negative. Getting into the European weeklies, you can see that as well. Now, what's pretty significant is look at the EPO on these. Very negative EPO here on the European AI, on the GraphCast. You can see it on the GFS ensembles. So there will be no lack of cold air for the east over the next likely week or two. The question is, can we get a nice storm track to get some snowfall in some places out east that haven't seen any yet this year or haven't seen much? I am going to do a live stream later to discuss those opportunities. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Like I said, if you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if you like the video, like the video. I was out of town for a few days visiting family, but I'm back, so I'm trying to get back to my normal schedule, posting every day, live streaming every day. If you want to join an awesome weather community, the link to my Discord is in the description of all of my YouTube videos. The name of my channel on Discord is Connor's Climate Corner HQ. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video or the next live stream.